On this week's show, Tesla's new energy storing empire, Toyota confirms the 8 dealerships where it will sell the Mirai fuel cell sedan, and just how revolutionary the BMW i3 really is. These stories and more coming up next on 10. Enjoying today's show on YouTube and want to read the stories we're referring to today? Either click on the little information bar at the top of this video on selected stories, or head to our website at www.transportevolved.com, where you'll find the latest future car news as well as our buying guides, tech primers, and of course our weekly show notes. It's Friday, May the 8th, 2015. I'm Nikki Gordon-Bloomfield, and I hope all you Brits out there voted this week, because, you know, it's the duty of every good citizen. As promised in last week's show, Tesla Motors unveiled a brand new line of products late last Thursday, catapulting it into the world of energy storage alongside its place in the automotive industry. At a suitably high-tech reveal, Tesla CEO Elon Musk unveiled 2 distinct lines of storage products: the Tesla Powerwall, available in 7 kWh daily cycle or 10 kWh weekly cycle flavours, and the Tesla Power Pack. The former is designed to offer domestic customers up to 90 kWh of storage in daisy-chained units, with each 7 or 10 kWh unit containing its own built-in DC-to-DC converter and power electronics, all to help you power your home from clean, green, renewable energy. Capable of grid-tie or standalone off-grid function, the 10 kWh Powerwall being designed for grid-connected applications and the 7 kWh designed for off-grid use, prices for the 2 units start at $3,500 and $3,000 respectively, with deliveries due to start this fall. The commercial-grade power packs, meanwhile, come in 100 kWh sizes and can combined in massive battery farms of gigawatt-hours worth of storage. Obviously, price to utilities and commercial entities hasn't been discussed yet, but in its earnings call yesterday, Elon Musk said the price per kilowatt-hour of the power packs hit the $250 mark, while Powerwalls came in at $350 per kilowatt-hour. And in case you're wondering, Musk said that he's done the math and he reckons around 2 billion power packs would be enough to transition the entire world off fossil fuels and onto green solar power for good. To make that happen, Tesla said it will offer its patents freely, as it has done with its car technology, and will indeed need many, many giga-sized facilities to produce all of those cells. The all-new second-generation 2016 Chevrolet Volt range-extended electric car has finally been given an official launch price of $33,995, just under $1,200 less than its predecessor. The announcement, made sneakingly over last weekend, should mean that the order books soon start filling up for the plug-in car in the coming months, thanks to its leaner, meaner appearance, longer range, more powerful electric motors, and the addition of that all-important 5th seat. Higher trim models will naturally cost more, but the entry-level Volt should include enough technology to keep all but the most of gadget-obsessed happy, including GPS-aware charging technology, improved OnStar connectivity, and a nicely revamped interior. Production is due to start this summer, with cars due at dealerships by the end of August. It's good news all round, especially for those who want to grab a bargain with the outgoing 2015 Chevy Volt. Thanks to the lower pricing for a successor, anyone willing to buy the outgoing model should land themselves with a pretty sweet deal. Mercedes-Benz USA has announced an official recall for certain 2014 and 2015 Smart ForTwo minicars, including both gasoline and electric variants of the Fun City Runabout, for a faulty steering gear mounting bolt. The recall, announced this week, affects some 5,058 vehicles and is believed to have originated with a batch of steering wheel mounted bolts produced for Mercedes-Benz by a third-party provider, which were of incorrect specification. In extreme cases, these subpar parts can break, causing problems with the car's steering and increasing the risk of a crash. Less than 1% of recalled cars are expected to show any signs of wear, although Mercedes-Benz will replace all bolts on affected vehicles free of charge. Owners will be contacted in due course, of course, by the automaker, or they can contact their local dealer, Mercedes-Benz customer service line, or NHTSA's dedicated recall line for more information. After first coming to British shores last year as a fleet vehicle, the Hyundai iX35 fuel cell SUV, that's the Hyundai Tucson FCV for those outside Europe, can now be purchased from the South Korean automaker in the UK for £53,105 sterling after incentives. For those interested, the pre-incentive price is an eye-watering £67,995. The 5-seat crossover, which offers somewhere between 265 and 365 miles per fill, depending on which fuel economy rating system you use, is being offered to private customers at nearly £15,000 off list price, thanks to an European initiative called Hy-5. Hy-5, a consortium of hydrogen fuel cell manufacturers, energy companies and automakers, has a task of putting 110 hydrogen fuel cell vehicles across Europe in key hydrogen-friendly areas over the coming months. Part of that does include funding the installation of new filling stations for hydrogen vehicles, as well as offering the aforementioned massive discounts to incentivise people to buy. But with a 0 to 60 time of 12.5 seconds, the iX35 FCV is hardly fast, and it's probably going to be best at home in busy cities like London rather than the open highway because of its refuelling limitations. You've all heard of self-driving cars, but have you heard of self-driving trucks? Well, this week, German firm Daimler became the first truck maker in the world to officially apply for and receive license plates for 2 fully autonomous self-driving semis. Based on a production Freightliner model, the 2 prototype trucks, called the Freightliner Inspiration by Daimler, are already driving around the roads of Nevada, one of a handful of states in the US to legally allow autonomous vehicle testing and operation on its roads. With features similar to some of the autonomous cars we've seen in recent years, the Freightliner Inspiration prototypes will help reduce driver fatigue on long road trips, increasing safety and productivity in an industry long known for its unsociable hours, poor pay and high death rate. Wednesday marked the release of Tesla Motors' official Q1 earnings for 2015, showing the automaker's GAAP losses had widened during the quarter from $108 million at the end of 2014 to $154 million at the end of Q1 2015. And that was part in due to a higher capital expenditure during the quarter, which saw Tesla spend $426 million on everything from gigafactory construction and retooling to preparation for the upcoming 2016 Tesla Model X. Tesla's new Tesla Energy venture also took its toll, representing money that Tesla spent ahead of the product's launch last week, but which Tesla has not yet recouped through sales. But it's not all bad news. Alongside the widening losses, Tesla posted the highest delivery figures of its history in Q1, delivering 10,045 Model S cars, 15 more than it estimated it had at the end of the quarter in March. Production and demand for Tesla's Model S is also up, thanks to its new P85D and 70D dual-wheel drive variants, while Tesla says some massive improvements at its factory in Fremont mean that it is not only saving money on every car it makes, but hitting a 1,000 car per week production average. The generally positive report, better than analysts had predicted, meant that Tesla shares rose sharply in after-hours trading. With only 3,000 units earmarked for US sales through to the end of 2017, the Toyota Mirai hydrogen fuel cell sedan was never expected to be available nationwide. In fact, we've known for some time that initial sales would be limited to California in order to help the plug-in hating manufacturer meet its state-mandated zero-emissions vehicle targets. So if you're one of the people who wants to stump up the $57,500 to buy one later this year when it goes on sale in the US, you'll be pleased to know Toyota has now announced the 8 dealerships, 4 in Southern California and 4 in Northern California, where the Toyota Mirai will be sold and serviced. With cars not due to hit dealer lots until October at the earliest, you'd be forgiven for thinking that Toyota is being a little premature, but with supply so constrained by the time-consuming and expensive handmade construction process, Toyota says it wants would-be owners to get in touch ASAP when the order books open this summer. As for who will get one, Toyota says it will place cars with select eligible customers, which we think is Toyota speak for movie stars, business moguls and other high-profile influencers, just as it was for the EV1 and Toyota RAV4 EV back at the turn of the century. Sorry. And finally, you might remember back at the start of the year we covered a story from Niro & Associates, a Detroit-based engineering company which specialises in reverse engineering cars so that rival firms can properly understand how each other's vehicles are made. At the time, the firm had posted an interesting video about the deconstruction of the BMW i3 electric car, calling it as revolutionary as the Model T Ford. Well, this week, thanks to our friends at Green Car Reports, we learned about some more videos released a few months ago by the same company, going a little more in-depth with the carbon fibre plug-in. Covering battery construction, chassis and interior, the videos demonstrate just how innovative the BMW i3 really is and how BMW has managed to make its first mass-produced plug-in car profitable after just 20,000 units. So if you're like us and you liked taking things apart as a kid, head over to our website to watch those videos in full. You won't be disappointed. Well, that's all the news we can fit in today, so I hope you've enjoyed it thus far. We'll be back next week at the usual time for another show, and since the news hasn't happened yet, you'll have to tune in to find out what we cover. In the meantime, you can find all the other news that's fit to print at our website at www.transportevolved.com, chat to us on Twitter at @transportevolved, or head to our YouTube channel to catch up with our latest shows. Yes, our news panel talk show is still on sabbatical, but it is coming back just as soon as we figure out the secret to Doctor Who's TARDIS. As always, there's been a lot we haven't managed to fit into today's show, including a new Apple Watch remote for Tesla Model S that's heading through the App Store right now, PlugShare adds route planning to its online service, how the Chevy Spark EV outsold the Chevy Volt last month, and how being really good at sport could win you a luxury BMW i8 plug-in hybrid coupe. So when we're done, be sure to head to our site to read them all. Thanks for watching. I'm Nikki Gordon-Bloomfield, and until next time, keep evolving.